Back to the daily grind, and shout out to the full-time patrons. Make sure to hit subscribe if you're new and hit thumbs up if you're not a baby back bagel biting bitch boy, cause you know what time it is. It's full time.
MMA.
UFC top 10 ranked welterweight Magny is going to donate a large portion of his fight purse to a little girl in need now that he has an opponent for his co-main event at UFC Liverpool that almost fell apart after his originally scheduled opponent Gunnar Nelson was forced out due to injury. Now, after Gunnar Nelson was forced out due to injury, there was talks of potentially Jorge Masvidal fighting Magny, but Jorge Masvidal was only able to come in at 180 pounds. He said, if you can fight me at 180 pounds, I'll come in to Liverpool and we can get it done. Magny said, we're not going to fight at 180 pounds. This is a welterweight fight. But he did go on to say, if the UFC is able to find me an opponent for May 27th, I'll donate $15,000 of my fight purse to help this little girl and her family get the care that she needs. And so Magny was willing to save a baby to find an opponent. He was motivated, and man, it's a good thing the UFC found him an opponent, because now the UFC found Alex White to step in and face Magny, and so this little girl's gonna get the help that she needs from Magny, because if he didn't have an opponent, he wouldn't have got the fight purse, right? I guess she wasn't important enough for the Jorge Masvidal fight. No, I'm just kidding. That's a joke. This is a joking channel. This is a serious situation, but I wanted to make that joke. But since the UFC was able to find an opponent that was able to come in and fight at welterweight, 170 pounds, Magny's taking the fight, and this is what he had to say about, wanting to save this little girl. He said, I started reading about this girl and her condition and on her GoFundMe, and I realized how much of a drastic situation her family is in. That's what actually inspired me to dig deep and make a bigger contribution than anything I've ever done in the past. When he continued, he said I read the whole article. He said he's a charitable person. He'll help people out. Here's $100, but this is the biggest thing he's ever done, and he was inspired. He said also, a lot of us know about UFC fighter Ray Borg. His newborn baby was going through some medical issues, and Magny said so it really hit close to home as far as that's concerned as well. Then the UFC was actually able to find him an opponent for May 27th, so his co-main event is saved. He has a fight, and he's sticking to what he said. He said, now I get the privilege of putting on a great show for the fans and keeping my promise to Presley and her family. I'm going to donate $15,000 of my purse to help her get the medical care she needs, which is super dope. As far as who his opponent's going to be, it's a UFC newcomer, I believe. He is unranked. This might be his first UFC fight, but Magny still has to, come in and win against a guy in Alex White, who's won all 14 of his pro fights via stoppage. Now, even if Magny doesn't win, I'm sure he's going to still be able to donate the $15,000, right? But it's looking, things are looking good for Magny as far as the fight is concerned. But I will say this, man, I didn't know much about this Alex White guy, but from what I read, I think he's out of the Elevation Fight Camp. And I know he's also from England, I believe. So I don't know if it's the same Elevation Fight team as TJ Dillashaw and Alex Hernandez and them, but if it is, man, Magny better be careful in here. But Magny knows he's still got, this is what Magny had to say about his upcoming opponent. He said he has a chance to gain everything and he wants to. It's right in front of him. He said, so that's a guy I can't take lightly. This is the kind of fight I can't walk into thinking I've already won it. It's the kind of fight where I need to be on my toes. I need to be aggressive and go out there and claim what's mine and not sit back and be passive about it. So he knows that this guy's going to be coming in and trying to make his name off of Magny. So he's going to come in here, fight smart, try and get the W, the safe W, win his co-main event, and still donate this $15,000 to Presley, who was in need, which is a dope moment. We cover a lot of the drama that goes on in the UFC. We cover a lot of fight news, so it's always good to see somebody doing good things. We cover that. You got to cover that stuff as well. Like, when Derek Lewis was out there in Hurricane Katrina helping save folks, that shit was super dope as well. And just a lot of numerous other things that mixed martial artists have done. That's just charitable things. So with that, Conor McGregor's done a lot of stuff. It's just a lot of fighters, man. Too many to name. So with that being said, it is what it is. Here's a little feel-good story ahead of UFC Liverpool, which is coming up this week, headlined by Wonderboy and Darren Till. Let the full-time family know what you think in the comments. I'm out. And as always, thanks for checking out this video. If you want to join the notification gang, make sure you hit subscribe and also hit the bell next to it so you're notified every time I upload a video. And if you want to help this channel reach its full potential, consider hitting the PayPal link in the description or going to patreon.com/fulltimemma and becoming a patron. I'm out.
This is #1 bullshit.